You have to figure out what your version of commitment and putting money down is, or putting money where your mouth is, or I promise you, you will retreat. It is historically true. You will find a way out unless you grow the balls to be able to literally do the thing that you know scares the shit out of you to hold you accountable. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit an inspiration. And I love that you pop on here to come on for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of inspo every single week. You guys, I need it so bad. It's not even funny. I am constantly tuning into different people, different things, different books, different podcasts, you name it, because it's like I wake up every day and somehow I got some form of amnesia overnight and need to be reminded of why I want to go for my dream and of your own greatness, right? So that's what I want to remind you of today, is that you are capable of so much freaking more than you think is even possible. You just have to plug in to the right places, communities, and people. And truly, that's all it is. The moments in my life when I have shifted the most, it is because I went somewhere where people were doing the damn thing and they told me that I could do it too. Because people at this level, they believe in you. They want to see you succeed. And they also know that if they can do it coming from where they came from, that you can too. So whether you're at the very beginning and you feel like you're behind, or whether you're someone who's really in it and you're just looking to scale, but you feel stuck because you've been too much in your business, you always have to plug in. But the other thing that I want to tell you is that one of my friends is putting on a free webinar. You guys, this woman has been a mentor of mine for years. In fact, I tell a really funny story about this on this last Monday's podcast with Marie Forleo. You guys, she was on my bucket list for my podcast for 6+ years. And I kept getting turned down left and right for 6 years. For real, true story. And then finally, I got to have a podcast with her this last week on Monday. But I want to share, outside of this epic podcast, I think it was definitely one of my favorite to date. She just crushes it. She's so freaking brilliant. And she has sold so many of her courses. You guys, she has sold 80,000 of her B-School courses. Do you even get how huge that is? You can't sell 80,000 of anything over 14 years if it does not work and if it's not successful. So I want to first share, before I get into this epic topic that is rocking my world right now. Once again, it's come back into my life with a vengeance, and I know you're going to love it. I want to share that she is putting on a free webinar that you can go sign up for right now. You guys, go right now. It's in the show notes. Make sure you use that particular link in the show notes to go sign up for her free webinar, which is all about stealing her strategy to get the 3 proven things that have made her profitable fast. So she's going to teach you about the crazy popular advice that makes most entrepreneurs fail and why doing the opposite is going to make you wildly successful. She's going to tell you about the one weird little obsession that turns stressed out strivers into freedom rich millionaires. And she's going to tell you how to stop spinning your wheels doing all the things and focus on the one tactic that gets 40 times more effective at making you money. So you guys, go and check that out. You have to use the link that's in the show notes, because if you end up taking this free webinar and loving it and decide that you want to sign up for her B-School, which is enrolling in 2 weeks, then I am going to give you one of our free courses that we have put together. So you guys, go use that link down there. If you do that and end up signing up, I'm telling you, I'm going to send you something so huge, so free, one of our courses that you are absolutely going to love it. It is called Be Online. It is from Chris and I and all of our really incredible mentors put this program together for you, not only to complement B-School, but we had put this together to get you online and scaling and eliminate all of your fears over doing that. So let's talk about today. Let's talk about the topic today. Chris was prepping for an interview, and I'm going to have this guy on my podcast as well. And it brought this phrase back into my life that I absolutely love, that I kind of forgot about. And in all honesty, I literally might get a tattoo that says this. For real. I think the odds are like 90% or higher right now, because when I heard it again today, it just resonated so deeply, and it did in the past. And it's one of the things that has gotten me through so much, because I had so much fear and still have a lot of fear because I'm a freaking human and so are you. And that phrase is burn the boats. And there's a book out by Matt Higgins called Burn the Boats. But this phrase was initially said by Julius Caesar. And then it went on to be used in a lot of other historical moments where they won different victories, they won different wars. So many people who are successful, who have pushed through, who've created things in the world that are life-changing, that are world-changing. This is something that they do, that they use, a phrase that they think all of the time. And this particular phrase is the thing that has not only pushed me through in the past when I decided to do my first 300-person event out of the blue, when I decided to launch courses, when I decided to write a book, even though I had an 8th grade education and that was it. You guys, these are the things, this is the phrase, this is the thought, and I'll share a little more on it, but this is the thought that's going to push you through to the places where you want to go. Because without doing the things that you want to do in life, I just think that that is a slow march to your death, not enjoying what you're doing. Yes, I'm dramatic, but I really actually don't think that it's that dramatic. I mean, I just want you to project out over the next year and then the next 5 years, saying, if you stay exactly where you are in the same network, not that your network is bad, but if you don't grow it, and if you don't go learn new things and don't go start hanging around people or getting yourself in the rooms with these bigger thinkers and bigger doers, then are you going to be okay with where you're at in 5 years? So burn the boats. What does that mean? It means not letting yourself off the hook. It means not letting yourself have a way out. And when these different armies were going to take on their enemies, one of the things that they would do, of the victorious ones, one of the things that they would do is they would actually surround them, not on all sides, but they would surround the camps on 3 sides. Now, I thought this was so interesting today because we did start this book and I absolutely loved it. And I'm going to continue reading it. And I hope that you guys do too. I thought this was interesting that they would surround their enemies on 3 sides. And this was a very specific plan to take them over, and it would work. Why would it work, you guys? Think about it for a second. Why would it work? Why wouldn't they try to surround them on all sides, especially if the enemies did not know they were coming? So this is like they even had the upper hand. They could surround them on all sides. They could have more people that they were fighting, or more people that they were fighting with. But no matter what, they only surrounded them on 3 sides. The reasoning behind that was that this other side that they wouldn't surround themselves on or surround the enemy on, the enemy had a way to retreat. The enemy would leave. The enemy would not stay and finish the fight. So then they would win. Because no matter what, if you give people a way out, they will take it. Just like if you give yourself a way out, you will take it. So Tony Robbins brought this one back, and that's where I actually heard it the first time, probably about 10 years ago now. He says, if you want to take the island, you have to burn the boats. Meaning, if you're going to take over the island, and that is what you're going in with, and that is what your mind is set on, if you leave your boat there so that you can retreat when things get hard, guess what you're going to do? But if you pull up to that island and you're like, look, it's do or die. This is what I'm doing. There's no way out. I'm actually going to burn my way off this island. You're going to fight until the death. Something else that was mentioned in this book is that when they would go to war, they would not give their troops food. They said that the only way for you to eat is to take the enemy's camp over and eat their food. So I thought that that was absolutely so crazy, so brutal, and it worked because it was like, look, you're not going to have enough food to get back to where you need to go. The only way through is to take over the camp, which is just mind-blowing, but also we have to find our own modern day ways of doing this. So something that I did with my new company, and it's proven to be so true and helped me in more ways than I can possibly tell you, is when I was creating this company, It started as light pink. It is now pivoting. I can't wait to tell you what it is. And my 54 incredible investors are along this next ride with me because we just took it and we pivoted it. When I was creating this, I said to myself, what do I need to make sure that I never quit, even when it gets really hard, and I make this thing successful? Like, what are the things that I need? And I thought, well, if I take women that I really look up to along this ride or have them as investors and have them put their money in, I am never going to quit until I find a way. I do not want to disappoint those people. That is my worst nightmare. That's like my burn the boats moment. Truly burn the boats when I brought these women on, because I was like, I can't let myself fail. I have to figure this out. So when things were happening during COVID and margins were changing and co-packing was changing and things were stalled and things were stopped, when we decided to pivot, it was this moment of, if I hadn't had these women, if I hadn't had these investors, if I hadn't had this accountability, if I hadn't had this crazy commitment to these people and to the money that they spent, I for sure would have quit forever ago when it got hard. Because let me tell you, every single day is hard. So you have to figure out what your version of commitment and putting money down is, or putting money where your mouth is, or I promise you, you will retreat. It is historically true. You will find a way out unless you grow the balls to be able to literally do the thing that you know scares the shit out of you to hold you accountable. And if that makes you sweat right now, if that makes you nervous, it should, because you're literally saying to the universe and yourself, I am willing to bet and gamble on myself. Anything less than this for your big dream is not going to push you through. When I hear about entrepreneurs who have made it, it's because they put everything on the line. They might have gotten their bank accounts down to zero or under zero or in the red multiple times, and their back was up against the wall. So if we don't create this back against the wall moment for ourselves, we're going to quit. We're going to retreat. We're going to let ourselves off the hook. So what is your version of this? Maybe you don't even have the money and you go and figure it out. Maybe you have to go and sell some of your furniture. I don't know. But the people that I know who've been successful, these are the stories that they tell me. This is the story I'm telling you right now. The stories that I could tell you from before this, when I first took risks, are even bigger, but I promise you I'll make even more podcasts as this story rolls out, you guys. So what is your burn the boats moment? What is your burn the boats? You really have to think about that and never ever look back. And it will matter who you're hanging around. It will matter what rooms you're in, and it will matter who you're listening to. So you guys, like I started with at the beginning of this podcast, just go enroll for this free webinar. Because if anybody can teach you how to burn the boats and what it looks like to set yourself up, it's her. It's Marie Forleo, who can actually help you with your business because she's helped 80,000 other people. So you guys go and check that out. I always love to give you places that you can actually go in order to start moving forward on your dream. Let me know if this was impactful for you. I don't know, tag me. Let me know your burn the boats moment, if you're going to do it or not. Your heart should be racing, your palms should be sweaty, and you should go and do that thing right now, because you're sure as hell not going to do it once you are an hour removed from this podcast and things are a little bit cozier and you say, gee, things are just fine the way that they are. And then you wake up again tomorrow and you're pissed at yourself because you didn't do the thing that you came here to do in the world. Don't die with that dream inside of you. I'm telling you, like I said, it is a slow walk towards death if that is the life that you choose. So I'm sending you so much love. And until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone. Hey all, I'm so excited to share with you, Earn Your Happy is now part of Growth Day Podcast Network. A bunch of us are coming together to bring more growth to the world and support shows and brands that we truly believe in. And one of my friends is also on the network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to his show. You guys, Trent Shelton has the most incredible podcast. It's called Straight Up with Trent Shelton, and it's going to remind you that you are built for this. I have heard Trent speak in person multiple times. I've listened to his podcast a ton. He's coming on the show, and I literally cannot wait because this man just spits straight fire. It is like truth that goes to your core and makes you take action right away. If you want one of those podcasts that when you're just out on a walk, you can't help but want to start running and run through a wall in your life, this is the show to go listen to. So you guys make sure that you go subscribe to the show, Straight Up with Trent Shelton. You're going to love it. Hey, do you know what the big secret is this year? And it shouldn't be a secret because this should be your biggest focus. It is building your community. I am always working on building and nurturing my community, and everyone is talking about the power of community. Without an online community, you just cannot grow organically or create a real movement, which is what I know that we're all after. And you can build trust or monetize your audience. When you get community right, not only does your audience grow faster, but so do your sales. But where's everybody going to be managing their communities these days? And a lot of online entrepreneurs and thought leaders are turning to Circle.so. Circle is an all-in-one community platform. It lets you host content and create discussions, live streams, group chats, and memberships all under your own brand. And what's so cool about Circle.so is that you don't even need a website or Facebook group. Instead, Circle lets you build your own community site where you can host content and manage your members. You can even create locked and unlocked content spaces, groups, and classes. How freaking cool is that? You can put your content behind a paywall too, and you can charge different amounts of money for different spaces on your community site. Circle.so is famously easy to use, and it has a free 14-day trial for you, so you can go check it out, see if you like it, see if you love all the options. Just go to Circle.so. Go check it out right now, you guys. Imagine being able to manage your community, start group chats and live classes, and accept payments all in one place. Kind of mind-blowing since this is usually spread all over the place. You have to log into so many different things. If this is the year to capture, organize, and monetize your community, head over to Circle.so. You can get a free trial and start building your online community right now. Just go to Circle.so. You guys, you get the 14-day free trial. So just go and see if it's for you. It's going to streamline everything and make your life so much easier. It's so freaking cool.